And how about those Devils? How about those Devils? And how about those Devils? How about those Devils?
How about those Devils? Welcome back, Devils fans. It is your host, Ace, here on Running with the Devils, where we are talking New Jersey Devils hockey all year long. Please hit the subscribe button, smash the like, share with a friend. Thank you very much. And our beloved New Jersey Devils returns to Newark, New Jersey, to the Rock, riding an unfortunate 3-game losing streak, looking to get back to their winning ways on home ice, hosting the Detroit Red Wings tonight. And what do the boys do? They go out there and win a gutsy one in the trenches, a warfare-type game, beating the Red Wings by a score of 4-3. A beautiful night at the Rock. I must ask, I must know.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
Are you not entertained? This one had a little bit of everything. So much to get to. War on ice, melees, skirmishes, goals, depth scoring, big dog scoring. We saw a little bit of everything tonight from the Rock. And while I am not, I don't know what you want to call it, I'm not over the moon with this performance. Let's be real. A win is a win. 2 more points in the bank, and the boys continue to be a force on home ice. Cheers to all of you. Win or lose, we booze. We're going back to the iced tea and vodka surf sides. And wow, guys. What is it? Oh, it's been so long since we've had victory drinks, and they taste so much better than loser beverages. Cheers to all of you. Cheers to the boys. Wow, I'm fired up. This one was wild. When it hits your lips, whoo! I was in the building tonight. This one was phenomenal. And let's just get into it. We get to the game to start it off for the second consecutive game. Second game in a row. Timo Meier at 12:54. Shot from Nason, a little perimeter shot. Timo gets the deflection on it.
Give me fuel, give me fire, give me that which I desire.
Timo Meier. Timo Meier gets his 7th of the season from Stefan Nason and Nico Hischier at 12:54 to open up the scoring, gives the New Jersey Devils the 1-0 lead, and the Rock comes to life. I'm feeling good. My buddy's feeling good. All the people around us are feeling good. Vibes are high. Devils up 1-0. Didn't last long. A little under 4 minutes later, DeBrincat strikes for the Wings, tying it up at 1. And at that point, I was like, oh no, can we just have nice things? Can we just run away with the game for just for once? Can we just stomp somebody and we not have to worry about it? But obviously not. Game tied at 1 late in the first, and we get a little bit of action down the stretch here. Later on in the period, Nico kind of weaving through traffic and wrists one from a little out, not too far, but he just wrists one through traffic, hits the back of the net.
Pretty, and he lives in Jersey City, number 13, Nico Hischier.
Nico Hischier, the captain, coming back from the dead. I'll get to that in a second. His 7th of the season from Jesper Bratt and Timo Meier gives the Devils the 2-1 lead late in the first, and I forgot going back. Obviously, dirty hit from Comfer. I thought Nico was dead in that first period. He was, 5 or 6 feet away from the boards. He gets trucked. He kind of smashes his head, shoulder area, immediately goes down the tunnel, and I immediately had a nauseous pit in my stomach. I thought for sure that was going to be the latest injury, and Nico was going to miss a ton of time. I just felt nauseous in that moment. Nothing happened to Comfer in the moment, but he trucks Nico. He gets a 2-minute penalty. I thought Nico was dead. He goes down the tunnel. He returns. I don't know. He may have missed a couple shifts. He returns to the bench a short time after to the applause of the Rock faithful. And then when Comfer gets out of the box, he gets a breakaway and almost scores, gets stoned on the breakaway, and then immediately exactly what you want to see. Heavier, edgier, more violent. The junkyard dog, Stefan Nason, was like, we're going to do this dance, my friend. Oh, we're doing this dance. Immediately goes after Comfer. A little bit of a wrestling match. It looked like it may have gotten broken up. Obviously, the refs were fully aware of what this was about. And credit to the officials, because this could have been stopped. And I think it almost really was for a split second. It looked like it was kind of stopped. And then they were stood back up, and then they let him go. And it was a pretty long one. Nason got some decent shots, and I got to go back and rewatch all of this later on after I get off of here. But I think he landed a nice uppercut, a couple other punches. But the exact response you want to see. Your captain gets absolutely decimated with a hit like that. And while I would have liked to see Comfort get his ass kicked and jumped right in the moment, Devils got the power play, and then Comfort gets out of the box, and immediately he gets that breakaway, almost scores. Nason goes after him. You love to see it. That is heavier, edgier, more violent. That is the response you want to see. This team must raise the level of the bark and the bite. They got to really raise that physicality, and when teams take liberties, you got to respond. And I have believed on the season thus far, the team has lacked in that department, as they have for years now. You know, you see little traces of the team, pushing back, but you need to see a lot more of it. And I think this could be, when we look back later on in the season, that moment with Nason, as well as the end of the game, and this whole game in general was a chippy one. Hopefully we look back and say this was kind of the turning point where the group was like, we're not gonna take it anymore. We're not gonna take it anymore. It is time to stand up and make a stand. Tired of seeing these guys just bullied and smacked around with no response. The junkyard dog had enough. Nason takes him to task. You'd love to see it. All right, we'll talk about that, I'm sure, in the comments after. But all right, the Nico scores 2-1. And then back in the lineup, Cody Glass late in the third period. Luke Hughes takes a shot and another tip in front. Cody Glass gets his fourth of the season at 19:04 from Luke Hughes. Connor Brown giving the Devils the 3-1 lead. And guys, who would have thought, right? Who would have thought in the summer or earlier on in the season that we would have been so desperately clamoring for Cody Glass to return to the lineup? Playing 3C, no one expected him to have the impact that he has had. And in the games that he's been hurt during both different times he's been hurt, unfortunately, the team has suffered. And you saw, it looks like a new team with him in the lineup, obviously. We looked like an actual hockey team tonight. And he was a big part of that. Hats off to Cody Glass. Beautiful goal there. And definitely gave the boys some jump tonight. But Glass is fourth, gives the Devils the 3-1 lead. After one, we go to the second. And on the power play, JVR gets his second of the year, cuts the lead to 3-2. And again, I'm just like, oh, God, can we just get a multi-goal lead and run away with this? A little while later in the second period, my man Dawson Mercer, relentless on the forecheck, causes, who was the wing? Was it Hamonic? I think it was Hamonic. Tries to swing the puck around the boards. And I think Mercer got a piece of it and sends the puck the other way. And it kind of little skedaddle right in front to Connor Brown. He corrals it and blows it past the netminder, totally sleeping on that one. What a great play that comes off of the heels of just relentless forecheck by Mercer. Connor Brown gets his sixth of the season at 8:38 from Dawson Mercer, gives the boys the 4-2 lead, which is how the second period would end. We get to the third, and Dylan Larkin was kind of a menace all night. He was involved in a bunch of skirmishes. I think he was tied up with Siegs a bunch of times. Siegs was very active in the warfare department tonight as well. But Larkin gets one at 10-12 to cut the lead to 4-3. That is how it remained till late in the period. When the Wings would pull the goaltender, they got some decent chances. Devils survive, win the game 4-3. We have a bunch of melees after the whistle. Just wild stuff. Markey looking to get involved. Everybody looking to get involved. And it really just feels like it could have been one of these types of team bonding, team galvanizing wins on the season. And again, we'll get to all this. It was not the prettiest win. Was not the prettiest win by any stretch, but 2 points is 2 points, and the boys are now 8-0-1 on home ice at the Rock. You love to see it. I am jacked up. Again, there's still concerns. We're going to get to all this. There's so much to get to. We get to the game stats. Thoroughly outshot here. I mean, some of these stats are like, my God, Wings 35 shots on goal to the Devils 19. And credit to Markey, right? One of those goals was like, but in the end, he made some big saves down the stretch to preserve the win. And without Markey, we probably don't win this one. And so for all the people that were hating on Markey, again, not to make excuses for the guy, but he has been playing through injury, in my opinion, and trying to get back to where he needs to be. tonight, I think, is a great giant step in that direction. But Wings 35 shots, the Devils 19. Devils got completely owned in the faceoff circle. 64.9% for the Wings. 37-57 to the Devils 35.1, winning only 20 of 57. That is pathetic. And obviously having another center in the mix would or should help in this department. Wings go 1 for 3 on the power play. Devils go 0 for 1. Wings with 22 hits, the Devils with 25 hits. Wings with 20 block shots, Devils with 19. Wings with 16 giveaways, Devils with 11 giveaways. Devils with 3 takeaways, and the Wings with Wings 3 takeaways, Devils 4 takeaways. What a game. What a game. When you look at these stats, you're like, oof, this is not that pretty at all. But a win is a win. We will take it. And we get to the stars of the game. The third star with a goal and an assist from the Devils, number 16, Connor Brown. And the second star, also from the Devils, with a goal and an assist, number 28, Timo Meier. And the first star, also from the Devils, with a goal and an assist, number 13, the captain, Nico Hischier. What a game. I do think Markey was robbed. Multiple guys with 2-point nights, and so I guess it's hard to pick who to kind of leave out of this group. But I think Markey 1,000% deserved the star of the game. But there's only 3 stars. I'm not gonna make a huge deal out of it. There's only 3 stars, but it is what it is. All Devils. We get to the player stats. Stefan Nason with an assist on the night. Obviously, that beautiful fight that really got the boys going. You'd love to see the response there. Also, a shot, a block, and a hit. Cody Glass with a nice night, having that goal. Also, a block. Nico Hischier, a goal and an assist. 3 blocks, 3 hits. Glendening with 3 hits. Connor Brown, goal and an assist. Palat, 3 shots, 2 hits. Timo Meier, a goal, an assist, 4 shots, 2 blocks, 4 hits. Love that stat line from him. Dadonov, 2 shots, a block, a hit. Paulie Cotter, a shot, 2 blocks, 2 hits. Bratter was a little quiet, I thought. He had an assist, a shot, 2 hits. Grit's kind of quiet as well. A shot. Dawson Mercer, a shot. Dilly, 4 blocks and a hit. Dougie Hamilton with a hit. Shimo Nemitz, +2, a shot. Luke Hughes, an assist, a shot. 2 giveaways. White with a block, 3 hits. Siegs, 3 blocks and 2 hits. And Jacob Markstrom, 32 saves on 35 shots. Save percentage of .914. Improving his numbers a bit. Obviously, they're off to a fairly rough start for Markey, but I thought a very solid outing for Jacob Markstrom here tonight in getting a huge 2 points and a win for our beloved New Jersey Devils. And we go to the deserve to win a meter, and I knew it was going to be bad. I didn't know it would be this bad. The deserve to win a meter kind of tells the tale here. The Wings with 75.3% deserve to win to the Devils 24.7. So that tells you once again that the Devils were pretty thoroughly outplayed according to the metrics that kind of go into this thing. And the Red Wings win 75.3% of the time after 1,000 game simulations. If you look at some of their scoring chances, the Wings, you see a lot of that, those thick red clusters in the high danger areas. And Markey came up big. But the Devils found a way to win, and that's all that matters. But I'm not going to, forget everything that has kind of happened leading up to this, obviously. But deserve to win a meter, very telling. But the Devils find a way to win regardless. I do not think the Devils are out of the woods by any stretch. Obviously, we all knew that Cody Glass coming back would be a massive spark to this club, and it was. And a lot of guys stepping up, obviously. I'm sure they had a lot of conversations and meetings over the past few days in the wake of that tragic performance in Philadelphia. But it is going to be a struggle. Nothing has really changed, in my opinion, other than we got a much-needed win tonight. I still think there's a lot of underlying issues with this club My opinion on all of those things have not changed whatsoever, as the result of winning this one game tonight. I'm not going to, overreact or, some people are just totally extremists with everything. And again, I try to be somewhat logical and fair, but I do think there are a lot of underlying issues with this team that need to be resolved via a trade or trades. I think they desperately need another center, like immediately. Obviously, getting Glass back is a huge help, but that's not enough. Would like to see Mercer back to his wing spot as soon as possible, and that's not going to be able to happen until we have at least another center brought in, and they're just going to have to tread water. Tread water while Jack is still healing up. You cannot afford to go on a massive slide, and I do think the potential is there because, let's be real, they very easily could have lost this game tonight, and that would have been 4 in a row, and I cannot imagine what this chat would look like tonight had the Devils lost and have been riding a 4-game losing streak. The comments would be absolutely ridiculous. I'm sure there's going to be tons of ridiculous comments in here as well. But while it feels good, again, to snap the losing streak and get back in the win column, play good enough to win at least on home ice, they got to get a lot better because this was not a game to be super proud of. Obviously, a win is a win, and I'll be the first to say that. 2 points is 2 points, but there's a lot that needs to get corrected and in a hurry because we are going to be without Jack Hughes for quite some time, and they're going to have to figure it out. But hopefully we get the center we desperately need. A lot of rumors going around. A lot of people have been messaging me about it. As far as I have seen or read, there are no credible reports of the Devils linked to any of these names being floated around. It's really all just a derivative of, reporters and media kind of speculating about guys that they think would be a good fit and then kind of running with it. And then people regurgitate it as if this is something that's like actively being talked about amongst the teams. And I'm here to tell you it's not. It's just people speculating and kind of drumming up stories, and that's all good and fine. But you got to kind of read between the lines and know what you are looking at when we're talking about this stuff. Tropical Flamingo, what's up, Ace? We talked about the need to get the wins back at home, and we did, despite the heart attack nature of a lot of that game in our zone. You take them any way you can. Absolutely. And there certainly was tons of heart attacks. Traveling team's first fighting major tonight. No, Dilly, I'm pretty sure Traveling that Dilly had one. I believe we had one fighting major prior to this, like a week or two ago, from Dilly. Adam Christopher says love for Marky tonight. Absolutely. Jeremy Proper, great hat, Ace. I changed it, was too hot, but thank you. Cheers, Nolan. Cheers, Nolan. Captain, happy to see the Devils beef up the security at the end there. Nemitz needs to cash in the receipt with Sherratt next time they meet up in March. Oh, yeah. So he got he got butted in the gut, right? Yeah, that was another scare. So we survived a Nico going down the tunnel, and then we survived a Nemo going down the tunnel. All very, very scary stuff, by the way. I mean, I almost vomited. David Ryan, thank you, sir, for the super. Now that's I guess more. Now that's more like it. Heavier, edgier, more violent, old school hockey at the end. P.S. Ace, where did you get that great, did you get that, I guess, hat you're wearing? The hat was a giveaway last year. I never busted it out. I've been waiting for a special time, and I thought, and I kind of forgot about it. I thought tonight breaking the 3-game streak was an appropriate time to bust out the NJ Devil hat. But thank you very much, David. Much appreciated. And heavier, edgier, more violent was certainly on display tonight. And your boy Ace certainly loves that and was fired up. What a way to end a game. And like I said, this could be one of these games where the team kind of rallies around like, all right, we showed a backbone, we showed a spine, we won the game, we punched them back. Nason took on Comfort early in the game, and there was kind of pending chippiness throughout. What a game. What a game, Max. What's going on, Max? Love Nace getting into a fight for the cap. You love to see the response. He gets out of the box, gets a breakaway, and then it's like, all right, now you get to fight Stefan Nason. Absolutely fired up. Blackatron, thank you. $10 says it's pork roll. Oh, it's not pork roll, silly. It is certainly Taylor ham. Where are you folks from? You're down in those South Jersey, Philly areas? It is 1,000% Taylor ham. But thank you for the super. Where do I get a hat like that? Oh no, they're probably online somewhere. But this was a pretty cool one. I gave the other one to my nephew. He loves it. But this is the NJ Devil, sponsor. We got the Devil logo on one side and the MSG Networks. But I do love this hat. It's just it's very hot. I got very hot wearing it with all the lights on me. Stiz, I'm loving Connor Brown on this team. I can't wait to go on Wednesday. I'm bringing 12 of my buddies along for a ride. Very nice. Connor Brown. Connor Brown, great player. Great player that makes a difference. Hopefully he can keep it going along with some of these other guys, and everyone's going to have to step up. Every game there's going to be different guys that have to emerge as the hero of the game. Without Jack Hughes, this has to be a scoring by committee. We will take the production anywhere it comes from. Cluck Records says, hat game on point tonight. Thank you. John NJ Devils, love the hat A's. Cheers. 2 points victory drinks. Love the victory drinks. Love it. Lapine, I was referring to the last chat and everyone thought we were done. Just goes to show that the boys have fight and our season isn't over. Oh, a lot of people said that. I certainly did not give up on the season, but I was very disgusted with the effort and want to see a lot of things change, and nothing has changed for me in that regard. But anyone who's counting the season done before December is a complete clown. It's not even December yet. What are we talking about? There's plenty of season left, plenty of time to right the ship. And hopefully it starts with bringing in center help because we desperately need it. Justin says, love seeing Markstrom get involved at the end of the game, of course. How I got her, Jeremy Proper, 124, smash that like. Thank you. Hit the thumbs up for your boy and for our beloved New Jersey Devils. David says, Timo time, unbelievable. Justin, Devils had enough of being pushed around tonight? Yeah, they did. And you saw the response. You gotta love the physical response. Stuck together as a group and went to war. And this may have been the type of game that they needed to snap out of whatever the hell they were in. Obviously, this team looks exponentially different at home versus on the road. They need to find a way to be road warriors as well. Just being a good home team is not enough. And while I'm happy for it, obviously, attending a ton of home games, you want your team to be good at home and hopefully get home ice in the playoffs. And that continues on and serves you well on a deep run. You need to be able to win games on the road too. And as of pretty much this whole season, this club is kind of dicey on the road. Alex says, Ace, your head barely fits that thing. Dope as hell, though. Yeah, thanks, Alex, you little jerk off. Yeah, it's not the biggest hat. I got a big dome. Blackatron, holy, what happened? I was at work, turned into a Donnybrook. It was like a fake Donnybrook, if I'm being real. It always does seem to end up in these kind of Huggy Bear fests. Like I miss the old ones where like people broke up into actual, one-on-ones, the mitts were off, and you'd see just shots. Now it's like everyone looks like they want to look like they did something. But Stefan Nason, shout out to him getting the whole thing started in the first period. He was about it. He wasn't pretending anything. He was really about that life. Bobby, thank you for the super sir. Solid team win despite being outplayed for majority of the game. Nice to see Markey looking like his old self, and I'm loving the feisty Nico. Our power play looks bad. Not sure why. Should we trade for O'Reilly or Forsberg upgrade? Definitely a solid team win. I do think we were outplayed for large stretches of the game, and the deserve to win meter showed it. I mean, we were thoroughly dominated there, but the Devils found a way to win, largely in part to Markey. Great outing for him. Nico looks like he's, tired of getting beat up on every game. That's a good thing to see. A lot of people are starting to kind of wonder what the story with him is. And, while we've talked about, people lead in different ways and yada, yada, in the end, like, I do think the body language was kind of sad that last game. It's like, you got to make a stand, even if you're not one of these more physical kind of guys, at some point you have to make a stand, and glad to see Nico and the rest of the team show that tonight. In terms of O'Reilly or Forsberg, I mean, listen, I think there's a ton of guys that would help this team out that I would like to see. But as I've said a million times, with the cap space, there's really only going to be one of these moves able to be made. And that's still going to require some moving pieces out and freeing up some salary to fit under the cap. I don't know who the most ideal piece is per se. I am high on O'Reilly just because I think he's a good fit. He's a win now guy. This year and next at $4.5 million, I think that's a great cap hit, and it doesn't pose a lot of risk. In a vacuum, I do love Kadri as well. I don't even know if he's really going to be traded or not, but he has a lot of years left. He's old. He's 34, 35, and he's got like 4 or 5 years left at $7 million. It's a little frightening for me. And obviously Forsberg's a beast as well, but I think he makes like 8.5. And so a lot of these names I think are not super realistic, but I'm all for the Devils getting anyone that could help this club, and we will see kind of how that goes as time goes on. If there are any moves made, I do think they will be kind of smaller in nature. That's just kind of my gut feeling. I think like a guy like O'Reilly could be one of the bigger names that is possible. And again, primarily because of the cap hit, I think that one would be able to be done. But in terms of once you start getting into like these Forsberg worlds and 8.5 million, I don't know. I think that could be a lot, but thank you very much. We will see how it goes. We need somebody or someone's. The Art of Pimpin', glad to see Nico playing a lot better. Not sure what was happening to him or why he was struggling so much. Again, he's another guy, plays big minutes, doesn't have easy shifts. most of the time, going up against the other team's best lines, trying to put the clamps on them, being that defensively responsible 200-foot player that he is. And I think he's maybe a little banged up too and kind of playing through it. But he obviously has looked much better as of recent, getting on the score sheet. You'd love to see it. The captain, he was physically engaged tonight. And we went to war. We went to war as a group, and it was a beautiful thing to see. You absolutely love to see the team stick together, go to war when shit goes down, just getting after it. And they did it tonight. Something a lot of us have been looking for, pretty much all season, and we haven't seen much of it. But thank you very much, Art of Pimpin'. Love to see the captain getting involved in all areas of the game. Physicality, the scoring. Now I'm trying to catch back up here on the all right, in the chat. We go back into the sea of comments. Looks like a lot of the doomers are taking the night off. Alex, I can't wait to see the next Detroit game in March. Can't come soon enough. Yeah, and I was telling my buddy last year there was a pretty chippy game with the Wings as well that had a lot of rough stuff in it, and I think Brendan Dillon fought Fisher maybe. But there's been a couple of these now, and it seems like this could be a little rivalry that's brewing. Jim says Wings are softer than us. I mean, they got some guys with a little bit of dog in them. Stickkick says, welcome Tate McRae fans and welcome back heavier, edgier, more violent. Killing the Nason penalty was huge. Absolutely. Yeah, he got the 2-minute, I think that was it a roughing or whatever. He got the extra minor, which I thought was kind of Bush League when he went after Comfer. They gave him the extra 2-minute penalty, which I thought was kind of weak. SST says Markstrom earned $100K of his $6 million tonight. Oh boy. Twisted sister. Tropical Flamingo, this could be a springboard for us to being more physical, stand up for each other, make them know you are here with the physicality. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I wish at the end it got a little more elevated than it did, but I'll take anything. To show any signs of life. I was thoroughly disappointed, as many of you know, in that Lightning game where Douglas just popped Nemo and no one did shit about it, but that wasn't the case tonight. And I'll take it. Richard says, finally, some snarl and guys sticking up for one another. This can't be a one-time thing. Get in other teams' faces and push back. This game could be and should be the new identity. Completely agree. Completely agree. Yeah, you cannot get pushed around anymore. This team needs to be nasty, and teams have to know that if you do some cheap stuff or you take liberties, there's going to be hell to pay. SST, Markstrom knew Running was at the Rock and decided he did not want to disappoint him. Oh, you're happy with Markstrom tonight, SST? Ace got back before me. David says escalated quickly at the end. Devil Heaven, what's going on? Glasser, welcome back. Yeah, absolutely. What a game. What a game for Cody Glass. We look like a different team with him. Hopefully he could stay on the ice and stay healthy, because him out on top of Jack being out is absolutely atrocious. The win-o-meter tonight, I just did that a couple minutes ago. Oh, yeah, I'm trying to catch up here. March 8th, get your tickets now, says Sinister. Justin, that was old-time hockey at the end of the game. Love it. Pork roll is life. I like Taylor Ham. What is this pork roll you speak of? Devils 8-0-1 at home is crazy, though. Very cool. Regurgitator says they still can't defend in their own zone. There was definitely some sloppy moments tonight for sure. Markstrom with the 9-14. But a smooth. Definitely Taylor Ham. How I got her, Jeremy Proper. Brat took a fist to the face at the end of the game and looked the other way. Yeah, Bratter's not really, trying to engage in that stuff for the most part. And the reality is not everyone has to, right? We have guys that can handle that. I wanted, after Nason went after Comfer, I wanted Dylan to go after him and fight him after that. It would have been nice if we just had guys kept going to challenge him, to just keep making him fight. Brian says, you sound over the moon they got dominated. I'm over the moon that we got 2 points. If you listen to anything I said, do I think anything is fixed or really? No, not for the most part. No, but I'm thrilled that we got the win and got the 2 points. David says, deposit your Markstrom apologies in the comment section. Dan couldn't win a face-off to save their lives at the end of the game. Yeah, the numbers reflected the domination that we suffered in the face-off circle. 19 blocks. Yo Holmes says it's not a debate. It's Taylor Ham. Oh, yeah, so I got to keep catching up here. A lot of comments. Yeah, I don't know how Marky didn't get a star. Merge Tube Glass consistently plays his heart out and affects the team. Glad to have him back. Yeah, what an amazing comeback game for him. It really was phenomenal. Still need more from Bratt physically. Glass gives 110% effort. You got to love Cody Glass. If you say pork roll, you probably say pass the gray poupon. Hey, Russo, what's up? Marky, good game. Top Guns picked up points, and Connor Brown and Glass, great games. Yeah, it really was amazing. Not Woodson, it was the best jerseys in our history. Wish we'd wear them all the time. Wait, which jerseys are you talking about? I hope you're not talking about the jersey. Amagi, thank you, sir. Shout out Cider helping collect Devils gear. Yeah, there's a lot of gear all over the ice. That NJ Kid, thank you for the super, sir. Love seeing a heavier, edgier, more violent team. Got to clean up on the defensive side. Can't let a Hall of Famer like Kane walk around. Yeah, they had way too much time and space. That was crazy. Can't let a Hall of Famer like Kane walk right in. Mark, you needed a game like that. Ace tried to say hi to you tonight, though through the club glass, but you didn't hear me. Let's go Devils on to the next game. Oh, sorry, man. I definitely did not hear you. Obviously, I would have said what's up. Appreciate the super. Yeah, heavier, edgier, more violent. Tonight this has to be the heaviest, edgiest, most violent game of the year, I think. And yeah, obviously too many chances against, high danger. And, Markey had to make a lot of big time saves, and he did, especially down the stretch. Came up with some big ones. And that Kane play was ridiculous. He just had so much time and space. And I was talking to the guy next to me, and I was like, Kane's going to make us pay when you give him that much time. But what a game. What a game. Curious to see if they got to put Kane on Team USA. But thank you very much for the super, sir. Cannot give Kane that much time and space. All right, so we continue on here, trying to Blackatron, how many times do we lose? And that deserve to win meter is through the roof for us, though. It's about time. Yeah, we've been on both sides of it before. Bungie says, you're right. We got to make some moves. The issues are still there. Yeah, I mean, listen, it's not all fixed with the win. But for now, I will be thrilled with 2 points and hope we continue to improve. But I'm thrilled for the slide to end and to get the 2 points. That's all that matters right now, is find ways to get the 2 points. But there's still issues at hand here. I'm not gonna pretend that this win just alleviates all the concerns that many of us have about this team going forward. Absolutely not. Christopher says, I would like Nico to two-hand someone. I'm waiting for someone to snap and do something like that. Eric says, Mark, you wanted this one and pulled us across the line. I went to streaming online, which is inconsistent to watching at another house a mile away in the same time because the game was blacked out at my place, which makes no sense. Had to listen to the third period. Yeah, I dream of the day where they make it easy on hockey fans to find the games. It is unfortunate with all we've talked about this a million times, but it is what it is. Devils, so there we go. Truth spit by the man, which is line with what I wondered about in regards to this game. People who gave me a hard time early, bugger off. I'm not sure what that's in reference to. I'm sure it'll circle back. Yeah, I'm trying to connect the dots here. We're still coming from behind. I didn't want to skip right to the beginning here. Quinn Hughes rumors again. Yeah, I mean, it's expected. It's gonna be going on all season. Prezify, thank you for the super. I'm from Lambertville, Stockton. It's pork roll, and I won't hear anything else about it. Well, your location gives it all away. As we all know, this is a very geographic debate, and you are clearly in the southern region, and you will identify with the pork roll crowd, and that's fine. I will forever be a Taylor Ham guy. I will never be moved. All right, back in the comments. Regurgitator says Quinn Hughes ain't happening this season unless the Knucks take Dougie, which I doubt. Or if they're able to move Dougie in a separate deal, I could see it potentially happening, but I don't know. As far as I'm concerned, I don't think really anything changed other than people just kind of, again, this is more just like speculation driven stuff, but someone supposedly said like, Quinn should be traded now if he's not going to commit to the Canucks. And it's like, no shit. I was saying that for months ago when Rutherford had that press conference and was like, oh, he wants to go play with his brothers. If you know, he's not going to sign there is no point in holding on to him. You might as well trade him now and get the most you can. That's the most logical thing. I don't know that I would want the Devils to pay the price because I do think other teams will pay a lot. And I've said time and time again, I'm perfectly okay with waiting till July 1st, 2027 and signing him in free agency where it won't cost us a damn thing other than money. I think that's a perfectly logical solution. David, I did stay to the end. I was watching the melee on the screen on the concourse because I had to haul ass to the car to hit the Batmobile and get back. I knew it had to be. I hate our social media team and they know it. I'm not sure what that is. Say it again. Yeah, damn it. I wish I knew what these were in reference to. I'm sorry, guys. It's impossible. I'm trying to get to as many comments as I can without skipping straight to the new ones. It's a little bit of a difficult scenario here. All right, we're skipping ahead. Natasha, I think we should sell Dougie. Clearly, Luke and Nemitz could hold down the fort, and Dougie looks subpar at best now and can't stay healthy. I can't say that I agree, but for all the reasons I've talked about, I just think Dougie's the easiest player to move, which fixes a lot of Fitz's and the Devils' problems, and I think it's going to happen. And I'm going to have an online memorial here. We'll have a live memorial for Dougie when that happens. It's going to be a sad time. I'll make sure I have all the handkerchiefs ready. There's not going to be a dry eye in the house. Luke, thoughts on cost dumping plot to Nashville and getting Ryan O'Reilly 50% retained and Smith Cole? Well, if you think, first of all, you need to get Palat to agree to go there. And then to get O'Reilly retained, I mean, listen, if you want to load them up with other assets, I could see it happening. But we'll see. Anything's possible if Fitz wants to pay the price. That's the thing. We have plenty of assets to use. David says, Ace, is the chicken fingers at the Prudential Center one of your favorite foods? At the arena? Yeah, I mean, chicken tenders are hard to mess up. The chicken tenders are pretty damn good, and they have a lot of different sauces, and so I definitely eat a lot of them. Nico Schauza. G Orlando, after the Wings tied the game at 1, Markey makes a huge save on the back door that probably kept us from another Philly collapse. Jeremy Proper, I admit, I did not think Glass would be able to bring this team back on track. Wow, yeah, he's a big piece, and you don't realize it until you see how bad the team looks when he's out, and then immediately comes back in the lineup and has a huge night. Sook said, I meant trading Dougie because you think Luke and Nemitz can hold it down. We have not seen enough of a sample size to make that determination. No, I agree with that. I do not think either one of them are at Dougie's level right now, but in terms of freeing up cap space and freeing up a spot on the defense, I think it's just going to be too tempting for Fitz not to do it because it just solves multiple issues in one deal. So we'll see. I hope that's not the case, but I just think it seems very simple, a simple kind of fix. Mario, what's going on? What's up, Ace? My coach just got back. This was a heavier, edgier, more violent Devils we wanted. Absolutely. Absolutely. John NJ Devils, happy for the season ticket holders. Seeing these victories at the Rock, there have been some rough years at home. You're not kidding. You are not kidding. This was the latest in what is turning out to be a very good home team, and you love to see it. This team is very good at home. Captain THC, Nico is a warrior. My first executive order as the next NHL commissioner is to allow goalies to fight. I mean, they can fight. They just is an automatic game misconduct for them. I forget. You don't see it too often. Benjamin says everyone is physical when they get pushed too far, just a matter of time. Well, again, we've seen this team in spots where a lot of us wanted to see a greater response than what we saw. And on a lot of nights, it wasn't up to par, in my opinion, where guys get shoved around, things happen, and the response isn't appropriate, in my opinion. And tonight was the opposite. They had enough. They stood up. And we saw that response. Heavier, edgier, more violent. Kane the Great suggestion, open comments that you read after you are done with your intro. I don't know what that means. Open comments that you read after you are done with your intro might help. Love your content. Thanks for the super. I don't understand what that means, though. Open comments that you read after you're done with your intro. I have no idea what that means. I'm trying to understand. I don't know what that means at all. The comments that I read are being opened. I'm reading them kind of in real time, but in past. Then I can't win. I can't win with some of you people. I try to read some of the old comments. People are like, you're not reading my comment. And people, oh, you skipped my comments. I'm like, dude, there's as we grow this damn thing, there's more and more comments. I'm like trying to speed read, skim through these while I'm doing all this stuff here. How I got a Jeremy Proper, 218 and only 84 likes. Damn, bro. People are stingy, huh? Stingy. Hit the thumbs up for your boy and for our New Jersey Devils. All right. I'm getting closer to real time here. David Ryan says we lose this game without Glass tonight. I think so. And without Markey as well. Hey, Russo, thanks for the hat again, my G. Glad you like it, man. Enjoy it. And tonight they finally earned the moniker on it. Heavier, edgier, more violent. We saw them again tonight. Hopefully we see them a lot more often and frequent. But it's moved. That said, I'm happy for Jack to have something to do for the next few weeks. You guys are talking about the off the ice shenanigans. I believe the the story of the week, the TMZ tabloids. 4 Devil 4, heavier, edgier, more violent by far this year. Mm-hmm. More Taylor Ham fights. Devil Dog Ace rivalry started last year in Detroit when Rasmussen hit Jack. Yeah, it was crazy. And he talked over him. Yeah. At the end of the game, continuing to rematch in matinee game day after Thanksgiving, also in Detroit, where we came back to win. That is awesome. Yeah, I remember. After Jack bounced off Rasmussen, he stood over him and kind of taunted him. I remember that. It was pretty. Bobby, thank you, sir. Luke can't hold down any fort. He should be healthy scratched when Covey is back. We absolutely not trade Dougie. Who will lead power play one? Luke? No. Listen, guys. I know a lot of you are getting impatient with Luke. He plays a lot of big minutes. He's a young kid, still 22 years old. He's gonna be a stud defenseman for this team. There's gonna be growing pains still. I know a lot of people want to see this polished, perfect defenseman who never makes mistakes, but that's just not the reality. That's just not the reality. You have to get realistic. You got to take the bad with the good, and there's a lot of good, and there's going to be even more good going into the future. Kane the Great, 200 beautiful people in the stream. Make sure you hit the like for Ace. Let's go Devils. Thank you. Hit the thumbs up for your boy. Stop being stingy. Forgot about this. How could I forget? Captain THC. Marky's new mask was mean and the reason we won. I'm a fan. I like that mask. I am very happy that it seems as though he has retired that stupid mustache one. That thing was cursed. He played horrible with it. We saw him ditch it a couple weeks ago, and now we saw a new one for the third jersey or for alternate jersey night. I like that mask. I look forward to kind of going through the photos later. These are all things I normally do in between periods when I'm home watching the game, but when you're at the arena, it's a totally different animal. What is Taylor Ham? Come on now. Come on now. Ryan the Man says, and Marky, we trust. Deposit your apologies in the comments for Jacob Markstrom. Some of these people will never, but it's okay. Again, it's one game, so we'll see how it goes. Mario says, I better be seeing these heavier, edgier, more violent Devils the rest of the season in the playoffs. I hope so. But every time we've seen them appear, generally they go back into hiding. I hope I'm wrong, and I hope they're here to stay, but I don't have faith that we're going to see that. I think they just make a rare appearance here and there. Amagi, thank you, sir. Marky beard mask is better than the Marty mask. Oh, you're crazy. Oh, this is slanderous, Amagi. Don't be crazy. That's crazy. Marty's mask is an all-time classic. There's nothing that compares to Marty's mask. Dire Wolf says, if the reports are true and Vancouver wants to trade Quinn in season to max return, that is the only deal I move Nemo in. I'm not moving Nemo in that deal, personally. I'm not. I wouldn't. I don't know that the Devils would be able to resist, but I don't trade Nemitz in that deal at all. Not at all. Richard says, you do not trade assets Nemo for Quinn. He will still be a free agent in 27. I'm with you, Richard. I'm not giving up. I'm not giving up Nemo in that deal. Collect Record says, Middlesex really is the true Mason-Dixon line of New Jersey. Swamp Fox, Luke is driving me crazy with his slow motion decision-making and hand reflexes and difficulty handling pressure. It seems our D-men rarely take the body and give up too much space by backing down deep. I kind of agree with that. I would like to see the guys get a little more physical, especially in the D zone. Just start. You got to knock guys off pucks. We don't see them try to separate guys from the puck too often. Like a lot of times, it's like stick checks, and you'll see little things. But I just miss when guys would just try to blow guys up and just completely knock them off the puck. Not Wooden says, Ace with the not win now mentality with Quinn. I don't think Quinn is the right piece, if I'm being honest. Obviously, he's going to make the Devils better, and I'll be happy if we get him. But I don't think he is the end-all, be-all like some other people do, if I'm being real. I think those assets and cap dollars, if put towards forward help, would be a greater usage of the assets to improve the team. And a lot of other people agree with me that forward help is where we should spend either those pieces to trade and the cap money. But it's very clear to anyone, again, who's been paying attention that the team wants to bring Quinn Hughes in. So, it is what it is. I'm going to be happy to get him, but I am not going to trade a guy like Nemo to get him a year and a half sooner. Again, I would give up a lot of stuff to get him sooner because there is value in that. I am in win now mode. The team should be. And getting Quinn is a win now move, but I'm not doing that at the expense of a guy like Nemo. Sorry, no. Give them first round picks, give them prospects, maybe Dougie in that deal, whatever it is. But I would hate to trade Nemo in that deal. I really would. Michael says, I want Nemo to stay, but if he had to be traded, I'd want it to be for a top 6. You guys think a lot of moves are happening, and there's going to be one at most. You have to realize there's one big transaction at most, and not even big, like medium size. Dire Wolf, having Quinn for 2 playoff runs at like $4 million with him being retained is worth trading Nemo for. That's the only deal I would trade him, though. Dougie can be traded for a forward. Oh, man, now you guys are getting really greedy. You want to trade for Quinn and have them retain a ton? That NJ Kid, thank you, sir. Dougie was out there skating like a moose tonight. He might be nicked up, too. I think half the team is playing through some sort of injury. Benjamin says losing Dougie would be devastating. Not a good move. I'd be devastated. Yeah, no one's debating that Quinn's better than Dougie, but what does that mean? That means you trade Nemitz and tons of other pieces to get him a year and a half sooner? Ryan says, Dougie is a veteran defender, is a big piece of our defense. I agree with that. Nolan, those chicken fingers are banging. Wish they weren't so cheap and gave 5 pieces for that price. Yeah, Arena Foods, super expensive. Luke, I don't think Hamilton goes anywhere. Plot is the guy that goes. They'll get another center, and that's it. And that should be enough. Next offseason, who knows? I don't know. It'd be interesting. Fitz is going to have to do hell of a magic trick to get rid of Palat. And I'll miss Pally too when he goes. He's been a good soldier for some years now. Collect record ace. I still can't believe you get home that fast after games. Even if you've closed that entire areas like gridlock, you must have a sky ride out of there. I told you guys, I get that jump. You just got to beat the first wave. And then I get in the car and it's on like the Batmobile situation. Rev that thing up and I'm out of there. Out of there. Jungle Static says it isn't hard to get. Nobody should want to lose Dougie, but you have to do what you have to do. We have bigger needs in other places. Everyone wants to just get better without losing anyone of value. I mean, maybe some people. I understand you have to give to get. And for that reason, I do think that, Dougie's probably one of the guys that might be moving on. Amagi, Cody is also a heart and soul guy. When the team drives away, he's already stopped a few times to sign autos for fans. I imagine he's awesome in the locker room. That's good to hear. I heard that Connor Bedard guy's a real jerk and doesn't sign autographs. Man, I know that video. I would have never thought that would have been making the rounds the way it has. The now viral video of Bedard and that autograph hound is pretty funny. Richard, Dougie is mediocre on defense. The true and best defenseman by far on this team is a hurt Pesci. When Covey returns, odd man out, maybe Kotz. Maybe. I don't. Yeah. Are you saying they're going to go 11-7? Is that an 11-7 vote there? Only read comments that come in after your intro talk. Okay, I thought about that, but then all the people are going to cry that wrote shit. I mean, maybe I will do that. I'll just start. I've thought about it, but I did that once before, and then people are like, oh, you skipped my comment. Maybe I will do that. I'll just start in real time from that point on, and maybe that's what I'll do. I'll try that next time. I've done it before. Like I said, damned if you do, damned if you don't. No matter what, I'm going to get people complaining, but I guess that's probably fair enough, right? Luke says Cotter should get locked up dirt cheap. He's a solid player. Give him years over cap. I would like to see it, but who knows? There's so many kind of question marks heading into this offseason, the next offseason of the summer. And Nemo and Grits are both going to have to get paid, and they both could be getting paid handsomely. Snow Devil says, we'll Tuck resign in Buffalo, and if not, what would Buffalo want for him? He's been high on my want list as well. I like Tuck. I think he would be a great fit, but I just fear he's going to want a lot of money, and that's why I've said for a while now I would prefer the Devils trade for a guy with term who has a fair contract in place where he's under team control 4 or 5 years at a cap hit. That's good, and that's why we talked about recently Tage Thompson, I believe, would get an insane trade package because not only is he a great player, but he's signed for like 5 or 6 more years at like $7.1 million or something. So when you're talking about a guy like that locked in on a super team-friendly contract, his value on the trade market is through the roof. Well, what's going on? Read fast or do it. Stop lagging behind. Yeah. Botus Move says, Ace, that impression you did of people complaining about you not reading comments sounded just like anyone who calls it pork roll. Oh, man, this is a real pork roll Taylor ham divide here. This is getting real. Jeremy Proper, cut the man a break. He's a one-man show. This ain't easy. Thank you, my man. Thank you. Feel my pain. I'm trying to do all this shit as it's a one-man band, guys. I'm trying. Jungle Static, I think what Kane meant is that you only open comments after the intro. If so, I get that. It leaves you always behind the convo. Better just start responding to comments when ready. Okay. There's this Leave Ace alone who's reading thousands of comments. I don't know about thousands, but I'm definitely skimming in the hundreds. So what if he misses 5? I'm trying. Taj says, think sell Dougie, either get a Hall, which you used to bring in a top 6 forward like Tuck or O'Reilly, or do a Robertson. I'm out on Robertson. He's going to want too much, and I don't love him. I think O'Reilly, because of the cost and everything, makes sense. But I think they have to prioritize, just getting that center. And O'Reilly makes all the sense in the world to me. But we'll see how this goes. Swamp Fox peeps forget to hit the like button. Need to be reminded now and then. Hit the thumbs up. Ritter Engine, love to see them finally standing up for each other. Let's go Devils. Cisco Kid says, I didn't know Siegs was a fighter. I thought he was a lover. I don't think he's a fighter, but he kind of, was in the mix tonight a lot. Ethan, can we please get a merch drop from you, please? Oh, I'm curious, Ethan. What kind of merch would you want? I'm working on something. I will say, I don't know, guys. There's a lot that goes on behind the scenes that people don't necessarily know or see. I have a lot going on in my personal life unrelated to this channel. I have a lot of stuff going on that's kind of directly related to the channel. And I'm kind of working through some stuff. I got some roadblocks, some red tape, but I know people have mentioned merch before. I'm curious if Ethan and anyone else who wants to chime in, what type of merch you're talking about specifically. But I do think I am closing in on a little bit of a rebranding for the channel in terms of graphics and logo and stuff. And while I will always cherish the OG logo that you see today, for a lot of applications and things, that doesn't make the most sense, and I need something a little more solidified and clean, and I think that will be ready fairly soon. And when that happens, that may usher in a new sort of merch drop of some kind. But I'm still, good things take time. I'm still kind of, thinking about all these things. M Sharp says, Juan Commons red drop cash. I mean, that's, I'm not trying to make it that type of environment, but obviously that is a definitive way in all of, on any channel in the world, obviously. But there's, tons of these are being read without that, obviously. Not Tasha, just hypothetically, like in a dream world, I'm saying 4 Devils at hot dog or leftover rolled meat. I had a hot dog tonight. I'll probably be paying the price at some point for it. The sins that were committed in the lounge. Souk, they probably will wind up shipping Dougie. I just don't trust Fitz to be able to measure what a successful return would look like. Dougie's one that's kind of a wild card for me. I could see it kind of all over the map. I could see it being, a lot of different things. I'm curious to see how that happens. As long as it's not a messy breakup and she throws Jack under the bus and we get bad PR. Oh, boy. John Fay, are we witnessing the birth of a newly potential conference rivalry between our New Jersey Devils and the Wings? I think so, and I think it goes back to last season, like we said. I think this is really this has kind of been nasty for a while now, and I think it's fair to say this could be like a new rivalry for sure. Michael says, to be fair, Fitz is slow to make moves, but rarely gets the worst of trades that do get made. That's fine, but I think you have to be a little more active in those trade markets. A lot of people wanted to see something. The past couple of years, we didn't really see any tinkering in season, and as a result, I do think the team paid the price for it. And I think there's a lot of improvements that need to be made, for this team. So we're going to see what does Fitz think of this group? What is he looking to do to, add to the roster at any point? Hopefully not. We don't wait till the deadline and we get a little more proactive sooner. But we're going to see. Abreu says 90% of Markey's masks are fire besides the beard one. Yeah, Markey comes with the heat. I like all of his masks. Bobby says it should be the reality. Makar had no growing pains. But you can't compare. Everyone's different. Makar is a beast. Makar is the best defenseman in the league. So if that's what you're going to compare every defenseman to, then most of the time, the guys that you're making the comparisons with, they're going to just look like, oh, he's not, because he's not Makar, we're going to kill him. Like, Makar is the best on the planet. Souk, the beard mask should have been considered a war crime. David, don't forget what Dano has said. It takes at least 200 games for a D-man to develop. Be patient with Luke. These people have no patience. Devil Heaven, top 3 shows of all time. Ooh, a random wild card in there. Top 3 shows of all time. Wow. Top 3 shows of all time. Wow. 3 is hard. 5's a little easier, but if I had to go 3 in no particular order, if I had to pick 3, the first 3 that come to mind, yeah, 3 is hard, but I'd probably go Breaking Bad 3, Dexter 2, and Sopranos number 1. That's my initial take. I'm thinking about other shows that'd be in the mix. Entourage, obviously, just more of that gets more of a nostalgia boost with me than anything else. But Entourage was a phenomenal show. Benjamin, by the way, that ticket giveaway was so class. Well done. Yeah, thanks. I'm trying to figure out fair ways to do all this shit, guys. It's all kind of new and a work in progress. We ended up giving a pair away to Damien in the chat last night, and then I gave away a 4-pack on X earlier today. But yeah, maybe hopefully next time I do something like that, I have more notice and I could do something maybe a little more interesting. I don't know. It was lackluster, I suppose, but I just wanted, someone to enjoy the game. Devils, I'm more excited about the explosiveness and Nemitz than anything I've seen from Luke Hughes. Oh, you have a short memory. We've seen some pretty outstanding plays from Luke, even going back to the early days. But Nemitz obviously has been on a tear. Jason, though they don't have enough sandpaper on this team, they need to add some. Completely agree. Completely agree. Tasha, I want to get a Nemitz jersey, but gotta wait to see what happens if he resigns here or not. It's a smart move. Mia, do you think we can sign Nemo and Grits and Cotter? Yeah, of course I think that's possible. There's so many variables tied to that, but I think that's definitely possible. Devil says Palat and 2 first-rounders plus a goalie prospect for Quinn Hughes now. Palat, 2 first-rounders. No, that's not going to be enough, I don't think. I don't think that'll get it done. Not Wooden says Nemo won't sign here for how he's been treated. I don't think that's true either. I think he signs. Jason, no, I can't wait for Kobe to come back. We need that big physical shutdown D-men. Completely agree. Heavier, edgier, more violent. The more we could get in those categories, the better off we will be, and especially on defense. And yeah, physical in front of the net. Yeah, there was so many. And I guess, a lot of guys now are just afraid to get called for penalties. But it's crazy how these forwards just camp out in the crease. And, guys like Siegs was, lightly tapping them, but, clear those fuckers out of there. Get those guys out of there. Guys are just camping out, man, for seems like hours, just setting up in front of the net. No one even barely touching them. Way too comfortable for opposing forwards in front of the goaltender. For Devil, by the way, I have been wondering this. Do the Devils have an issue knowing when to respond when someone runs one of your teammates? You jump them right away. They just seem stunned too often. No, they just seem like a group that doesn't really like to engage in this stuff because a lot of them are soft. It's overall, I do think the team is too soft. People have been saying it for years. And you want to see responses like we saw tonight. They've shown signs of life in this department from time to time, but all too often when shit goes down, they just stand around looking like scared children. It's unacceptable. But Nason got it going tonight with that tilt. It was a good one. Garrett says, with Nemo contract coming to an end, would we even be able to afford him next year? Yes. Yes, they can. I'd rather a physical top 6 forward than Quinn, as would I. Tasha says, if Nico ain't resigning, deal him in exchange for Thompson plus some. That'd be interesting. I can't see. I don't think it's going to happen. I think Nico will sign here, but there's a lot of time this season, and, you know, a lot of things could happen in the blink of an eye. Things can change quickly. Woodson says, I'm taking Quinn for Dougie straight up. What? The Canucks would never do that. I'm so confused here. Jack McCabe, the thing is, someone like Quinn Hughes is a generational player. He makes everyone else so much better. It's almost like adding a top 6 forward. I'm going to disagree. I'm definitely going to disagree. I think he makes the team better, but he's not fixing all the other problems that we have. It's just not happening. And again, I would not want to trade a massive package, which includes Nemitz, for him. I know tons of people in this fan base would probably trade the whole team to get him because these people are all just, you know, high on the Hughes. And they're just like, trade anything to get him here now. Like, obviously, there is a value to get him here now. He does make the team better. If we could trade picks and prospects, and again, maybe Dougie because it's defense for defense, then you explore it. But if they're looking for like roster players and pick, like, I'm not leaving other holes in our roster to make this happen whatsoever. And I'm certainly not trading Nemo. Pro Bowl, who would you want to see replace Fitz as GM? Come on, man. You already know. People have talked about this forever. There's only one answer, and it's the GOAT, the great Martin Brodeur. Dire Wolf, Ace, I promise you, if the Knucks trade Quinn this year, he'll be retained. It will make him easier to move and maximize return. First of all, no one's worrying about that contract. It's a super easy contract to take the whole thing. If they're going to retain money on him, it's simply just to get even more assets for him. Yeah, who are these? Blue's Face is going to Magic Man the cap and bring in Quinn for. I know people think like we're bringing in a whole all-star team. It's interesting to me. Even one of those guys would be hard to bring in. Never mind multiples, but you know we'll see what happens. Larry Nemo with his work ethic will be a physical force in 2 years and for years to come. Hey, Russo says, I also think Tom is scared to trade Palak because locker room will be upset. Will they though? I mean, these guys are adults. They know that this is a business. You know, no one's here for life. Kane says we should have a meetup with all the regulars in the chat for a game. Would be so much fun. We all love the Devils. Still working on this. Still trying to figure out the best route to do this. And then people were kind of scaring me last game. And we're like, you shouldn't do it. It's a bad idea. And they were like, people are crazy. And then they kind of scared me a little bit. I'm like, wait, I didn't even really think of that. I don't know. I think it could have been an overreaction by somebody trying to spook me, but I don't know. John Faces, I was going to say Woodson hates everyone in this chat minus Ace. Suk, Cody Glass is more talented than Luke Hughes. I think that's, come on, man. This is where you lose people. You make a somewhat decent point, and then you follow it up with this. Come on. Pro Bowl, I wonder if Dougie is traded at the deadline for cap space and maybe Ryan O'Reilly. I don't know if they'd be in the same deal, but I do think they could be, you know, somewhat intertwined, whether they're separate deals or not. I think just to free up the D spot and the cap space, I think it's going to be too tempting for Fitz not to do it because it just fixes multiple problems in one foul swoop. Pro Bowl says if Dougie gets traded, Nemitz should take over power play duties. Well, it'll clearly be Luke and Nemitz. You know, I know a lot of people are like, oh, Nemo should be on power play 1. And I probably agree. But I think people will kind of flip-flop on that and go back and forth depending on whoever's hot at the time. And that's how pretty much most people are with all these kind of hot button issues. You know, they kind of go back and forth depending on what's going on as of late. We live in a very much of a what have you done for me lately world, so I get it. But between Luke and Nemo, I think we're pretty well set in terms of power play quarterbacks in the post-Dougie Hamilton era. And in terms of them as a pair, I think they're going to be nasty for years to come. Nemo and Luke could be one of the better pairings in the league in a couple of years, I do believe. I made it not Woodson to lower my risk of getting banned. Oh, my God. Tropical Flamingo, we split with St. Louis last year. I want this win badly at home heading into Thanksgiving. We also need to develop the attitude to not play down to the competition. They will not roll over home cooking. Yeah, didn't we play them near this time of year last year as well? I think so. Kane says, thank you, Ace. Best Devils post-game channel by miles. I appreciate that. Thank you, sir. Suk, Erica was it? Jason Nemo's going to put his totals next to Luke and be like, pay me. I would do the same. I would certainly do the same. Eric says, Tuck and Thompson, please. Oh, both of them. Both of them. Okay. That would be... You want both of them? Why not throw Stam? Why don't Tuck and Thompson and throw some other guy, and then we'll get O'Reilly and Stammer from the Preds too. Natasha, Best Devils post-game show. I don't think there are any others. There's certainly some others out there. Honky Lips, Rachel has a speech pattern like Christopher Walken. Oh my God. But hey, she knows hockey and seems nice. Did the walk Christopher Walken, man. A lot of these kids probably don't even know who that is. I used to be able to do an okay Walken. I can't, it's been years. But there are some great comedians out there that do Christopher Walken impressions. I laugh every time. Collect Records says, can we please never acknowledge Fletcher as a part of this organization again? I want Fitz gone more than anyone, but would keep him over Fletcher. No questions asked. Yeah, I mean, what does he really do, though? Aren't these like kind of figurehead jobs? I don't know. He's like an assistant GM. I mean, John says, I lost my mind Saturday night with that Philly mess. Tonight I feel better. Love the fisticuffs. Oh, we all do. Oh, we all do. After Erica's first year, she was goated. There's a reason NHL Network scooped her up. Like Erica was a better reporter, but everyone's always saying she's better looking than... Oh, God. David says, Ace, I'm from Brooklyn. One question. What the hell is a pork roll? It's called Taylor ham. The people in South Jersey call it pork roll, but essentially it's the, in my opinion, the greatest breakfast meat known to man. And I think they have it in a lot of places in New York. Look for pork roll or Taylor ham and then get it. It's delicious. Running with the Woodson. Erica is soon to be the top women's reporter in the nation. Okay. M. Sharp, how was the home crowd tonight? I would say sleepy at times, but they came to life in the moments they needed to. Jungle Ace, the criticism is constructive. I think we would all agree you are nailing this. You are a natural bruv. Thanks. No, yeah, I like the feedback. So I guess next game I'm gonna just start in real time and see how that works. I like it. I'm always trying to make it better. So I guess I'll still end up falling behind, but at least it won't be as far behind. Like, yeah, how far behind am I right now? Yeah, it's already like at one point I closed the gap to 10 minutes. Now I'm back up to 17 minutes, and I'm scared. Yeah, it's just crazy. The crazy Alex. Yo, Alex, I'm going to send you a hat, bro. Little homie, email me. I got a hat for you, Alex. I hope you're still here. Red Devil, O'Reilly makes sense, and based on things he said, it sounds like he wants out of Nashville. There's going to be tons of other teams in on him, though. Just getting ready for a co-host future show. Pro Bowl, Ron O'Reilly would be a great center edition. I do agree. Suk, Running, you should start vlogging everyday life from wake-up time to bedtime. Let us invade your life. People definitely would not be interested in that. I mean, I'd give at least a few entertaining minutes a day, but for the most part, I don't think anyone has any interest in that. Jay Snow, they still got caved in way too much tonight and struggled to maintain a lot of sustained ozone time. I agree. Again, like I said, I'm not saying everything's fixed, but I'm ecstatic for the 2 points. Natasha says, working through stuff. Ace is getting hate mail from Fitz. No, definitely not that. Richard, Ace, if Nash continues to sheet the bed, do you think Stammer gets moved to win another cup? I said this much to the disagreement of a lot of other people, especially with retention, or if they just took if they took Palat, say, in a world where he agreed, where you're kind of exchanging contracts that are less than desirable. I would love Stammer, and I think he's Obviously not the same player he was in his prime, but I do think he would bring about a significant culture shift. He's a winner. I think he commands respect. First ballot Hall of Famer. He's won everything there is to win. I think he's a leader. I think he actually can produce, specifically on the power play as well. Obviously, he's a little bit of a power play merchant, and we have tons of good power play guys, so it's not like we're really in dire need of that. But can you imagine having Steven Stamkos as your 3C with the ability to randomly pop on a wing of the other two top lines? I mean, having a guy like him in the lineup, talk about a Swiss jackknife, my God. Having Stammer for a couple years would truly be something special. Tasha says, crazy, I can't imagine a new logo. Okay. Victory drinks, pint glasses. How about a Devils CTS Cadillac? Ethan, I feel like a shirt would be sick with your face on it or something. I certainly would never attempt to make a shirt with my face on it or think that anyone would want that. I'm not that crazy. Not Tasha. It's the Running with the Devils rebuild. Cool on the rebrand. Your logo should take up the full picture. It's hard to read on most apps. Take up the full picture where? Cisco Ace, does your buddy Roger Clemens look like drinking heavily over the rags this year? So I haven't talked to him in a bit. He actually moved to Florida. I'm sure he's very depressed about the Rangers, but despite their issues, they're still not out of it. They're still not out of it at all. L. Krupp, thank you for the super. I don't see a comment. Okay, here's another. Okay. Big Devils fan from St. Louis. I listen to you from here, and thank you for what you do. Looking forward to this next matchup. Blues are a tough team. Thank you for the super. How did you move to St. Louis, or did you grow up there? I'm curious how you are a Devils fan in St. Louis. Definitely let me know. And yeah, the Blues are feisty, and that Binnington's a good one. I watched him friggin' steal that championship from Team USA in the Four Nations. Man, Binner, what a guy! But thank you very much for the super. All right, I lost my spot in here. You guys are still talking about pork roll. Yeah, there's tons of Jersey Mikes in New Jersey. M Sharp, the original Jersey Mikes was actually in Point Pleasant, New Jersey. Faye, I want to say we're witnessing the birth of a potentially newly formed conference rivalry between our New Jersey Devils and the Red Wings, but I don't want to jump to conclusions right away. No, I think it's very much on the way. I think it is very much on the way. The next game, I think, will solidify it. Maria, what's going on? What up, Ace? Glad this win helped put that filthy game in the rearview mirror. Kiefer sounded relieved in his post game, for sure. He certainly did. I didn't get to see his speech to the team yet. I didn't get to see anything. I might. We'll see. I gotta go and watch all this stuff after I get off of here. George Shine says Dougie has to start using that big body. Unfortunately, get hurt too easily. Early on in the season, he was throwing the body a little bit. All right, I got to skip ahead here. I fell too far back. Robbie's bench toss. Ace, I finally got my hands on an authentic CCM big block, red, white, and green blank jersey, 90/92. Who should I get in it? Brodeur 29, Stevens with the A, someone else. Ooh. I think that's totally personal. I don't think you could go wrong either way. I understand the allure of people wanting to get the Marty rookie jersey, but like he is known as 30. I don't know. I could go either way with this. I think any of those guys would be a solid choice. I don't think, I think Danico would always be, Kenny Danico would always be, he'd be up there for me in terms of guys that I would consider. Yeah, so I would say the ones you consider are Marty, Stevens, Dano, and maybe like a Claude Lemieux. I would say any one of those four, you can't go wrong. Personal choice. I think they're all, more than worthy, and it would be great jerseys. LaPine says half the team is playing through something, and at least 4 or 5 players just got back from injury. I think we will trade Casey and a pick for a forward upgrade. Nothing big. That is Fitzy's way. I'm with you. I think that's kind of what I think. I think he is going to be kind of. I can see Dougie happening though, but if Dougie doesn't happen, I think this is the only other possibility is that he does trade a guy like Casey in a first round pick for like a non big name but someone that could potentially help. I think that certainly is in the realm of possibility. Suk says Dexter is goated. Top 3 shows: Sopranos, Cheers, South Park. Okay. David Ace, just curious, how long did it take for you to get Stan Fischler to do the interview? What do you mean? Captain THC, South Park, Office, and Arrested Development. Okay, I had some friends that really liked Arrested Development. Larry goes Breaking Bad, Sopranos, and Mad Men. Okay. Devil Heaven, top 3 comedians of all time. Oof. Are you talking like my favorites or like who I think would be ranked top 3? This one is super, super hard. I love stand-up comedy. I can't do 3. So I'm just going to rattle off a bunch in no particular order of just all-time great comedians. Obviously, Eddie Murphy. Eddie Murphy's up there for sure. Chris Rock back in the day was very good. George Carlin, Andrew Dice Clay. Dave Chappelle, phenomenal. Dave Chappelle might be the GOAT. Sebastian Maniscalco is phenomenal. Love Sebastian Maniscalco. Jerry Seinfeld, amazing. I mean, there's so many good stand-up comedians. It's hard to pick. Pro Bowl, you have to watch Dexter. It is phenomenal. Forgot Richard Pryor. He's very good too. Dire Wolf says realistic Quinn deal is Nemo, Mercer, and 2 firsts. I agree that Vancouver would take that. I would never make that deal in a million years. I'm curious. Let's just play a game. Let's just say the Canucks propose that deal. Nemo, Mercer, and 2 firsts for Quinn. Are you approving that deal or not? Do you say yes or no? I 1,000% say no, but I know tons of you would say yes. If you're telling me Quinn is on the table for Nemo, Mercer, and 2 firsts, I'm personally saying thanks, but no thanks. I'm not even remotely considering the deal. But I know a lot of you would definitely pull the trigger. Soon as you're smoking blue Heisenberg meth. Red Devil, I'm just glad they finally started to push back tonight. Seems like teams have been taking pot shots at our captain like crazy lately, and tonight they finally did something. Yeah, it's about damn time. It's about damn time. We've been getting pushed around way too much. Sebastian the King. Dire Wolf, anyone saying that's unrealistic, I don't think you understand the value of Quinn at 50% retained. I didn't even see that part in there. But either way, I think their ask would be astronomical. And I think other teams would probably pay maybe something similar to that. Now, if they're straight up told, like, you have no chance of signing him, maybe that brings the price down a little bit. I'm with Richard. Why would you trade Nemo, Mercer, and firsts for a guy who will be a free agent in 2027? Exactly where I'm at. Damien, I ended up going with a girl that may eventually become my girlfriend, but honestly, it felt like a predate. When we showed up to the Rock, they immediately scored 2 goals. Whoa, I have so many questions here, Damien. First of all, you told me you were bringing your boy from Seton Hall, and now you're bringing this girl that, let me get this straight, she may eventually become your girlfriend, and then you're saying it felt like a predate? Damien, I have to ask, I'm an old man, what the hell is a predate? What is a predate? If you went to a hockey game with her, I'm going to say that was a date, my man. You were at a date at the Rock tonight at the expense of screwing over your boy from Seton Hall for a predate, for a girl that may become your girlfriend. I need to hear more details on this. I need way more details. Dire Wolf, if they make Quinn available league-wide for 2 playoff runs at 50% salary, they will get a similar package similar to Mercer, Nemo, and 2 firsts. I think you're kind of in the wheelhouse for sure, especially with retention. John, how much money do you think Grits is going to get? It really just depends on where he finishes the year at. I think he'll finish with at least 40 points, but let me see. Yeah, he's got 10 points in 22. He's on pace for 37 points. Yeah, he kind of went cold lately. Hopefully he picks it up. Yeah, I don't know. If he gets 40 points, shit, I feel like he's still going to want like $6 million. I think that's what the new cap world is going to be, like $6 million. Red Devil, I hate the constant camping and screening in front of the crease. Goalies used to police the crease a lot harder. Ron Hextall, Patrick Waugh, even Brodeur weren't afraid to take a chop at a guy. Oh, the OG goalies, they were great. They were chopping the back of the legs, hitting guys in the knees. Man, I missed the old game. It was so much fun. Pro Boat says Thompson better than Quinn Hughes. I mean, different positions, but if I could pick one of those players to put on the Devils, clearly you know who I'm picking, Thompson. Snow Devil, a solid center, and Kiefer Sherwood. That's what I want from Fitz for Christmas. I wanted Sherwood bad last year. He's start. He's on such a hot start now. There's no way we would get him. The price for him would be through the roof. David Nemitz Mercer, 2026 first round and 2027 second round is what Vancouver wants, according to the latest article from Hockey Feed. So Nemitz Mercer, a first and a second. I'm not doing it. Running with the Woodson says Marty has no interest in being a GM. I'm curious to know if that's true or not. Jason, that's crazy. Streamers have watch parties all the time. Like, are you talking about like in physical, like in real life, or like watch parties like virtually? Sean says if we do a game for a channel meetup, has to be months' notice. Have to fly in from New Orleans. Tosh says I think Luke and Nemitz both on power play one is interesting. Utica sent Malik to the Thunder. Wow. I didn't see that. Yeah, the call-ins are going to start soon. I know I've been saying it for a while. Soon, very soon. Tasha said the call-ins are great until people just start regurgitating, keep saying the same thing over and over and over again. And I want to shoot myself like it's yelling, shoot the puck. Some people were very against. Some were against the call-ins. Are you doing deep fried or oven turkey? I think it's an oven turkey. I've assisted in the deep fried, but I think this year it's going to be an oven variety. Tim says, let the captains fight. Tasha, the Erica Jack interview will go down in infamy. That was hilarious. Which one are you referring to? Faye, I just realized the minute Nason went down, the refs tried to stop it before letting them continue. Yeah, it looked like it was broken up, and I was pissed. And then it was just like, they're like, all right, screw it. And they just backed off, and then they fully separated. And I was like, all right, this is the way it should be done. They just kind of separated from everybody and got the little scrap on. Alex, I found the channel during the Devs vs. Rag series. I like the little community. I appreciate that. That was a long time ago. Sounds like, feels like forever ago. Snow Devil, as I've been saying since the first time he was injured, people don't fully appreciate how much Glass brings to the team. Love how both times he got injured, he scored a goal his first game back. Yeah, he's a beast. He's a beast. I'm trying to catch up more current. I miss the dark room lives. Jungle Static, running with the Devil's food episode when? I'll be here pushing for Ruts Hut until my heart gives out, likely soon. Soon. The food stuff is, I have ideas for all this, but I'm trying to kind of build this in the proper order of all the things I want to do, and everything just takes time, unfortunately. Time and some other things. Natasha, I'm not against a new logo. I think it would be good, a more professional, distinguishable one, but yeah, you'll see it. Hopefully it gets unveiled soon. We should have just signed Allmark. I don't know. Robbie's bench shot says, thanks, Ace. That's my feeling on it. Needs rookie year and down over the others. Yeah, you can't go wrong with Needs either. But I just feel like those other guys are probably more closely aligned with the red and green days, I would think. The Heaton logo will be like the OG logo that I have right now will forever be like my alternate or like my special logo, but there's going to be a different one for day to day. Because the majority of people have no idea what the hell that is, to be honest. Most people have no idea. Only the real old school freaks could pick up on what it is. Ooh, Garrett, Billy G for the 92 jersey. That's an interesting one, too. I'm not mad at that. Tasha's Ace just finished the movie The Machinist with Christian Bale, one of the best movies I've seen recently. I haven't watched any movies in so long. Yeah, Dice is good. Top 3 wrestlers. Oh, that one's a little bit easier for me. My top 3 wrestlers. I don't know. Number 3. If we're going all time, I'm probably in no particular order. I'll probably go Hulk Hogan, The Rock, and Stone Cold. Those would be my 3. Dice Man is number 1. Love the dice. Luke says, forgot. Love the interviews. Getting Peluso and follow up with Stan Fischler. Thanks. Appreciate that. Really enjoyed talking to both of them. Both of them huge parts of my childhood. Mike Peluso, obviously a Crash Line member, 1995 Cup champ, and Stan Fischler, a longtime part of the broadcast during the golden years of New Jersey Devils hockey, where everything was just phenomenal. It was just excellence everywhere. On the ice, the general manager, Lou Lamoriello, our broadcast team, it was just excellence everywhere. Just excellence on excellence on excellence. What a time to be a Devils fan. Running with the Woodson says, Chappelle, George Carlin, Foxworthy. I'm not a huge Foxworthy guy, but all right. Oh, I also like Nate Bargatze, stand-up comedian, also very funny. My mother really likes him because he doesn't curse. My mother is very, church and whatever else, and, the cursing is really a no-no for her. Nate Bargatze does not curse, and so for that reason, she loves him. Along with another one that I forgot, shame on me, my man Kevin James. He's on my list too. Love Kevin James. Ryan says, I wonder if Marky or Allen will be in net on Wednesday. I have no idea. Bill Burr is okay. Some of his older stuff. I don't think he's quite as good as some of the other people I mentioned. Sam Kinison. Okay, another old school. Running with the Wooden says, I wouldn't give up 1 first for Quinn. That's ridiculous. You clearly give up 1 first for Quinn. I'm not trying to gut the roster for him, but a first round, they would never take a first rounder for him. If they would, and you would say, no, you're nuts. Brandon, the best I would do is trade Dougie and maybe a pick for Quinn right now. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't think that would get it done, but I would certainly do that deal. I don't think Vancouver does. Eric says, no to that Nemo Mercer trade, the wrong direction. Robbie's bench toss Hamilton, Salayev first. Okay, Nemitz and Mercer with picks. Nah, I don't think they would take Dougie Salayev in a first either. I would do that deal. That deal I would do. But Nemitz and Mercer, get out of here. Get out of here. Snow Devil, Nemo, and Mercer is insane. I wouldn't do just Nemo for Quinn. Sook says, imagine another team gives up a haul for Quinn and he doesn't re-sign there. Well, I think that's a very real possibility that someone will trade for him for 2 playoff runs, knowing that he's probably going to go into the Devils, and maybe in the back of their mind they're hoping that they could make some sort of pitch for to sell the team and the vision and whatever else, the area, to Quinn Hughes and hope to change his mind. But in the end, if you're a team that believes you're on the doorstep of competing for a cup and you're able to land a guy like Quinn Hughes and have 2 playoff runs with him, some ballsy GMs will maybe take that gamble. Devil says there's 0 chance of signing him. That is why they won't get a big haul. It has been made clear Quinn Hughes is going to NJ. Even with that being said, I think teams will pay a pretty good price in terms of assets to get him for the 2 years. Think about how much better he makes a team that's already kind of a contender. And then you have him for 2 playoff runs. Sheesh. Oh, other people are asking about the predate. Yeah, what the hell is a predate? I need to know. Ryan Men's bro is friend zoned. I'm Gen Z. I never heard of a predate. Oh, man. Yo. Honky Lips is predate. I'm glad I'm married and don't have to deal with that stuff. Great game for a predate, though. Here we go. My boy from Seton Hall couldn't come because he works at MSG, so he would not have been able to make it. And I say predate because I'm not ready for relationships yet. She does like me. Oh, boy. Tim says Grits would have had 2 more assists tonight if Palak could finish. Is he the one? Did Grits set Pally in on that breakaway? I think did a Red Wing like trip and fall or some shit, but Pally went in on a breakaway, and I was like, please just score here for the love of God, Pally, just prove us all wrong. And then he comes in on that breakaway, and like it was just like a crap shot. I was like, oh. Luke's money should have went to Grits. Better value. I mean, well, first of all, Luke had to get paid now. And again, guys, if you to continue hating on Luke is just so ridiculous. He's 22 years old. He's going to be one of the best defensemen in the league. Like him and Nemo could be one of the best pairings in the league probably in 2 years from now. And to just continuously hate on this kid is just so sad. It's just so sad when people get this, when they have to run with the narrative and never kind of release it. They'll just, no matter what, they just got to keep riding it. Just, the Luke Hughes hater squad, of if there's a few of you out there. Chappelle Show was so ahead of its time. Damien. Also, I want our first kiss to be memorable, so I'm waiting for the next Devils game to take her and officially start the relationship. All I can say is, Ace, you're a damn good wingman. Oh, this is so funny. We have our first love connection, courtesy of a Running with the Devils ticket giveaway, Damien. I have so many questions about this. Oh, my buddy's texting me about something. I have so many questions about this. I didn't know there was such thing as a predate. And I'm curious, what is the difference between a predate and then if you go to the next game, is that going to be, then it's going to graduate from a predate to an actual date? I'm an old man. I don't know how this all works whatsoever. Rodney Dangerfield, super old school. You guys are off the rails here. Red Devil, I'm still in favor of a jersey with the jersey logo and Ruts Hut on there somewhere. They're not going to put Ruts Hut on the jersey. That'd be pretty funny, though. Devils, if I could get my hand on any jersey, it'd be the John McClain 1987 last game of the season jersey. That'd be a very nice one to have. Oh, man. Yeah, Undertaker. Oof. He's definitely in my top 5. I don't know if he could be in my top 3. Honky Lips is Savage, Piper, and Junkyard Dog for me. Yeah, Undertaker, I could see, he's in my top 5, definitely. Captain THC, Stone Cold, Roddy Piper, and Macho Man were the best, easily top 3. We got another list here. Macho Man, Undertaker, and Bray Wyatt. Cody Skills, top 3 former Devils players that at least played 1 year for us. Oh, so you're basically just going like all-time Devils, essentially? My list would be the usual suspects. They would all be, the jersey banners. Yeah, Luke's list is the same as mine. Hogan, Stone Cold, The Rock. Forgot about Foley. Undertaker, Rock, Foley, a.k.a. Dude Love, a.k.a. Mankind. Richard says, real wrestlers, Dan Gable, Bruce Baumgartner. Wait, is this real? I feel like I heard this before. Kevin James and Mick Foley were on the same high school wrestling team. Yeah, they're Long Island guys, right? Hey, Russo, the Quinn trade would look like a first, Dougie, Casey, and a second in 2027. First, Dougie, Casey, and that deal I would also do. I would do that deal. I don't know that the Canucks would, but I would do that deal. I'd prefer to just wait and get him for free and get forward help now, but the team does seem to be obsessed with doing this. Tim, we don't need Quinn right now. Our D is perfectly balanced. Our need is another center to slide Glendening to the 13th forward spot. I agree, but I just feel like the team is hell-bent on getting him. I'd be fine if we never got him. We talked about this, Tim. I mean, listen, he's a top player in the league, and no one's going to be like, oh, no, don't get him. But I would much prefer to use those assets for something else. But it seems to be very clear to me that this is a priority of the team. Snow Devil, I'm not an old school fan, but I recently saw an old school Devils picture, and I was like, hey, that's Ace's logo, so I Googled it. Yeah, I know most people, I didn't plan on, I don't know, guys. Like I've said before, this was never a planned out thing. This has all been kind of a work in progress and kind of figure it out as I go. And so I had no sort of long-term vision or plans or anything. So I was like, oh, I just need a logo. And so that was the first thing that kind of popped into my mind. But I'm well aware that the majority of people that watch any of these videos or lives have no clue what it is. And it's kind of hard to read. And so I just think it's time to improve in some things if I want to continue to build on this thing and be able to do cooler and better stuff for you fine folks. Cody says that's called a situationship, bro, not a predate. Hey, Rooster says I bash on Luke, but have no issue with the deal. He's worth $6 million, and in 2 years will be worth 12. Give it a break, he'll be okay. That's kind of where I'm at. He's gonna continue to get better. The deal will be of value in a couple of years from now. Like he's not any of, none of the issues we're having right now as a team are because of Luke's contract. What's its use? Is undefeated at home in regulation is still pretty cool. Yeah, I will take it. I will certainly take it. Tim, you lady killer, you. Damien going to the next Devils game dressed like the Godfather. Devils need to win the next game for Damien. Wait, Damien, we're all invested in this story now. Are you going to the game Wednesday night with her? Sue says, don't let her get too close to Luke Hughes, Damien. Apparently he's a great player and Mr. Steer a girl. Damien, here's what's funny. I wanted to take her to one of my college games. Timing did not work out. You gave me tickets last night and she was free today, so the timing worked out. It's just the start. Okay. Cody says, hey, Ace, by the way, are you selling anything in your background? No. What are you looking for, Cody? I'm definitely not selling anything in my background, but I might be able to steer you in the right direction if you have anything you're looking for. Jersey Roots, what's going on? AO Ace and all the other dirty devil barbarians. Victory! A-Rose says, Ace, if you do a meet, make it cost a few bucks so people are serious and no D-heads. Well, I was assuming it was going to be something at a bar or something. I don't know. I'm still trying to think through all this. I have no idea what people really would want to go to. I mean, a while back when people first brought it up last year, I told people I was thinking about a bunch of different ideas and had people email me. And I think a decent amount of people emailed, but I don't think it was enough to waste more brain power trying to figure out what to do. But maybe I will look at that again in the new year. We'll see. I like Ric Flair, but not as much as his other guys. You were pretty doom and gloom the past couple of days. Try not to be like the rest of your fans when we lose. I mean, I'm just being real of how I feel. I don't think it's dooming. I think it's being realistic about where the team is. And like I said earlier tonight, I still think all of those things are still valid. I do think this team still has soul searching to do. Guys have to step up. I still think we need center help. And I still think some of the larger questions have to be asked. I'm certainly not going to be like, everything's fine because we won this one game. That 3-game losing streak was very telling. There was things creeping up even before Jack got hurt. And so I still think that there is, deeper rooted issues with this group that needs to be figured out one way or another. Or I do think continuing on as is, we will see another season of kind of more of the same. Honkulip says, Damien, let us know the next game so we can put a message for you in your pre-date on the Jumbotron. Tim says, Damon, you're overthinking. You're young. Just vibes, man. Let it happen. Tim, the vibes have failed me my whole life, Tim. My whole life. I was a big vibes guy. Now I have like a questionnaire, like a 200 question questionnaire that we're going to cross-reference. Oh, wow. Shots fired out of nowhere. Tommy, you go to Seton Hall. I go to Montclair. Montclair is better than your trash campus. Man, people are fired up on a Monday night. Oh, shit. My fantasy matchup was already done for fantasy football. I already had that win secured, but let's just see how Brock Purdy did. I forgot to look. Oh, my God. He sucked. He had 8 points. Oh, my God, Brock Purdy. Wow, I'm glad that didn't cost me a win. That easily could have. What the hell was this? This is a terrible performance. Oh, my God, 193 yards, a touchdown, 3 picks. Oh, no. David, just reminding you that Thanksgiving was when Markey caught fire for 2 months and was posting Vezina numbers. Hot streak incoming. It would be nice. But I'm not going to lie. He looked a little kind of, swimmy tonight. A little swimmy. He's kind of just a little too active for my liking. I kind of get heart palpitations. It definitely still feels more under control with Jake Allen in there. But, Markey did the thing tonight. But it does scare me a lot. It's scary. Damon says, don't worry, lads. She lives with me. I see her every day. I just decided in the moment to shoot my shot. Wait, does she live like in the dorm? Is this like a dorm? I have no idea what's going on now. I need to skip down. Hey, Roos says, Elliot just said Nuck's making vets available, not Hughes at the moment. Tim says Ace plus Bunkers 1,000 for a handshake. Snow Devil meetup at a game would be cool, or a watch party for an away game. Okay. David Johnson, David. Wear a cast on the date. It works for Jack Hughes. Yeah. Oh, man, you guys are funny sometimes. Shit. Yeah, Brock Purdy's overrated. Well, I mean, my other quarterback I had on the bench was Jordan Love, and he got like 7 points. I had him benched. I played Purdy, and he got me a whopping 8. We rent rooms in a house near the campus. Okay. Cody, Ace, you should do a fantasy football league next season for us subs. I might do that. That's an interesting idea. Yeah, you guys are nuts. Some of you people are nuts. All right. Is there anything else? What time? Oh, my God. It's late. It's late, guys. I mean, it's not that late, but it's late. The Damian story really got people. I might do the fantasy hockey league. The only thing is, I like fantasy football because it's like, it's weekly. The fantasy hockey is so much more of a time commitment. Like, you have to do it every single day and be tinkering with shit. And like, I don't like to do stuff and like half-ass it. It's like, I know people that would do it and like, not really pay attention to it. But if I'm going to do it, I'm going to like pay attention to it and try to win. And that's a massive time suck. And if you guys haven't been aware, like what I'm doing right now, this is a massive time suck. And so I'm not really in the market to start adding more time suck activities to the list. But maybe I will think about both fantasy football and hockey for next season for the channel. Ethan, do we get a kiss if we do a meetup? Definitely not. Certainly not. This is fantasy football. Heck with that fantasy hockey. A Russo says don't end Ace. I'm not ending yet. Not yet. But we're getting Crazy Alex says, when the call-ins start, Damon will call in with the girl as proof of success. If Damien proposes, we can all go to the wedding. Yo, you guys are nuts. Oh, man. All right, guys. I have to use the bathroom real quick. And then we'll start winding down. As always, thoughts, comments, questions, suggestions. I like, so far, the suggestion of the night. Well, we have a couple. Fantasy sports for next year. I like that idea. And I guess the other one was don't read old comments after I am done blabbering. Just start in real time. So I'm going to try that. And we'll see how that goes. We will see how that goes. Using the bathroom, back in 2 minutes. We'll start winding it down or winding it up, as A. Russo says. But throw it out there. I like the suggestions and ideas. Suggestions and ideas, throw it out. I'll be back in 2 minutes, and we'll start working towards an end of this thing somehow. Be right back. Be right back. Oh, shit. I just spilled. I just spilled drink all over the place. Hope I didn't hit anything. Poured the shit all over my phone. Let's see what you crazy people are talking about after I wipe off my desk here. Ugh. Very thirsty. I ate a lot of salty things, but these are pretty good. Spindrift, my boy put me onto these. These are not alcoholic. These are kind of like seltzers, but there's a little juice in them. Pretty good. It's pretty good. All right, let's see. Ethan said, change my Tinder profile asking for pre-dates. A. Russo said, Damien, I see you're Polish. Is the Mrs. Polish? Beware. As he revealed last time, A. Russo is married to a Polish gal, and he said sometimes they could be trouble. Funny enough, I met her when she was playing Fortnite, and that's how we hit it off. We became good friends after that. Now it seems the tide is changing. It's a Fortnite romance, folks. It's all about the Fortnite. What is Fortnite? Can I get that on my Atari 2600? Snow Devil, I like that you leave the chat open before the games. When do we get the 24/7 live chat? Would people want that? One of my buddies mentioned it. Yeah, people have mentioned Discord. I don't really like Discord. Nah, Faye, I think the software will be fine tonight. We've been riding it out. Tropical Flamingo beat St. Louis. Enjoy our Turkey Day, and then big challenge on Black Friday. How do we respond to the day game in Buffalo? They are cooking recently with wind over hated Canes and blew out the Hawks. It has to fail at least once per live. It didn't fail for a bunch in a row prior to the last one where the camera went out a bunch of times. I think I've seen clips of Trailer Park Boys. My fantasy football record is 10-2. I'm in second place. The first place guy is also 10-2, but he has probably like 70 more points than me. So by the points criteria, I'm in second. Yeah, the camera crashed a bunch last time. Ethan, how much would it be if we get a suite with food per person for a meetup? So I'm going to see if I could figure something out. If you do it the normal way, it's a lot. The suites are very cost prohibitive, in my opinion. The suites, yeah, I think more of something like, getting a block in a lounge or something is probably the better way. How am I 10-2? Brock Purdy probably only played a few games for me. I had Jordan Love for the majority of the season. He carried me. And I had Kraft, the tight end. In a couple of weeks, they went on a rampage together. So I had to double up. I don't play any video games. This is what we're doing right now is my video game. Justin, my fantasy football record is 10-2 as well. My fantasy hockey record is 6-1. Nice. Tropical Flamingo after the holiday could be tough. The next day, I hope we handle it the right way. That's another one of those hurdles you want to see how we handle. Myself personally, let's go Devils. John Fay, okay, a serious question. If the ref didn't interfere and let Nico and Larkin fight, who was winning that fight? I say Nico all day. I don't think so. Nico's a lover, not a fighter. You give him credit for the attempt, but I don't know, man. Larkin, I think, has a little bit more of that dog in him, and that matters a lot when it comes to these physical confrontations. But we'll never know. Maybe we'll see Nico beat someone down soon. I would love it. All right, that's it. It's late, guys. Closing time. The New Jersey Devils, folks. The New Jersey Devils. Your New Jersey Devils. My New Jersey Devils. Our beloved New Jersey Devils snap that ugly 3-game losing streak, winning a beautiful ugly one, I would say. A warfare type game, beating the Red Wings 4-3 at the Rock tonight. Getting back in the win column, picking up 2 desperately needed points. And they return to action Wednesday night back at the Rock against the Blues, looking to make it 2 in a row. I have no idea who's going to be in net. It should be an interesting one. But we need it. We need it. And again, I don't think the whole world is fixed after a night like tonight, but I will take the 2 points. I will take the 2 points any way we could get them. I am ecstatic. And that's it, guys. I ate so much food, I feel sick. I do. I'm going to go lay down in my bed now and watch the highlights and the fisticuffs and all of that stuff. But please hit that thumbs up for your boy on the way out. I would appreciate that. A lot of things in the works. As always, I'm trying to do bigger and better things as time goes on. And back soon. Back so soon. I will see all of you silly folks Wednesday night. And yeah, working on a lot of stuff. Thank you all for watching. I love you all. Like, comment, subscribe, and all that jazz. Until next time, friends. Let's go, Devils.